yo ya me voy a la playa. Mi corazón es de ti, jambalaya. Quiero estar muy feliz a su lado. Voy a gozar como nunca yo había soñado. Vamos ya a olvidar nuestras penas. Construiremos un castillo de arena con las olas del mar arrullando. Voy a gozar como nunca yo había soñado. Oh, jambalaya and a crawfish pie to feel jumbo. 'Cause tonight I wanna see my muchacho mío. Big guitar, fruit jar, and big gallo. Son of a gun, gonna have big fun on the bayou. Si el sol quema tu cuerpo y el mío, nos iremos de pesca en el río. Regresar cuando el sol se ha ocultado. Voy a gozar como nunca yo había soñado. Oh, jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a Philly jumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my muchacho mío. Big guitar, fruit jar, and big gallo. Son of a gun, gonna have big fun on the bayou. Oh, jambalaya and a crawfish pie, feel the jumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my muchacho mío. 'Cause guitar, fruit jar, and big gallo. Son of a gun, gonna have big fun on the bayou.
Grabando 1, 2, 3.
Good afternoon. We're Las Trizas y Dulce. I really hope you enjoy our music. We're very excited to be here.
Muy buenas tardes, nosotros somos Las Trizas y Dulce y esperemos que les guste nuestra música.
Morenita, bailemos el tao tao, el nuevo ritmo que ha causado sensación. Ay, vente morenita, bailemos el tao tao, el nuevo ritmo que ha causado sensación. Se baila así, medio lado, acurrucado, el tao tao, de medio lado. El tao tao, tao tao, tao tao, el tao tao, acurrucado, tao, de medio lado. El tao tao, acurrucado, el tao tao, tao tao, tao tao. Morenita, bailemos el tao tao, el nuevo ritmo que ha causado sensación. Ay, vente morenita, bailemos el tao tao, el nuevo ritmo que ha causado sensación. Se baila así, medio lado, acurrucado, el tao tao, de medio lado. El tao tao, tao tao, tao tao, el tao tao, acurrucado, el tao tao, de medio lado. El tao tao, acurrucado, el tao tao, tao tao, tao tao. Vente morenita, bailemos el tao tao, el nuevo ritmo que ha causado sensación. Ay, vente morenita, bailemos el tao tao, el nuevo ritmo que ha causado sensación. Se baila así, medio lado, acurrucado, el tao tao, de medio lado. El tao tao, tao tao, tao tao, el tao tao, acurrucado, el tao, de medio lado. El tao tao, acurrucado, el tao tao, tao tao, tao tao.
Thank you.
40 grados, nena, yo me quiero quemar, quemar, quemar. Cuando estás a mi lado el calor me sofoca y me quiero bañar. Hay 40 grados, nena, yo me quiero quemar, quemar, quemar. Cuando estás a mi lado el calor me sofoca y me quiero bañar. Hay 40 grados, también es mi corazón. Cuando yo te miro siento esa sensación. Cuando el sol calienta como nunca por aquí. Es cosa de locos el verano junto a ti, sí, sí. Hay 40 grados, nena, yo me quiero quemar, quemar, quemar. Cuando estás a mi lado el calor me sofoca y me quiero bañar. Hay 40 grados, nena, yo no me quiero quemar, quemar, quemar. Cuando estás a mi lado el calor me sofoca y me quiero bañar. Hay 40 grados, nena, yo me quiero quemar, quemar, quemar. Cuando estás a mi lado el calor me sofoca y me quiero bañar. Hay 40 grados, también es mi corazón. Cuando yo te miro siento esa sensación. Cuando el sol calienta como nunca por aquí. Es cosa de locos el verano junto a ti, sí, sí. Hay 40 grados, nena, yo me quiero quemar, quemar, quemar. Cuando estás a mi lado el calor me sofoca y me quiero bañar.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Que tiene un rock and roll y que llama Inés. Se pasa en el solar bailando con Ramón. Y las chicas no quieren trabajar y se pasan con Simón practicando rock and roll. Que tiene un rock and roll y que llama Inés. Se pasa en el solar bailando con Ramón. Y las chicas no quieren trabajar y se pasan con Simón practicando rock and roll. Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, mamá.
Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, papá.
Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, mamá.
Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, papá.
No puedo comprender por qué la novia mía, lo mismo que me suena, no quieren entender. El rock and roll, el ritmo dador, lo baila todo el mundo, este loco zapatón. Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, mamá.
Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, papá.
Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, mamá.
Pero que tiene un rock and roll.
Pregúntale, papá.
Písale la cola al sapo, písale la cola al sapo, písale la cola al sapo, pisa, 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 Celaya. Písale la cola al sapo, písale la cola al sapo, písale la cola al sapo, pisa, 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 Celaya. Todo animal tiene su rock, menos el sapo.
Oh,
¿Por qué será? ¿Por qué será?
¿por qué será?
Todo animal tiene su rock, menos el sapo. Oh, ¿por qué será? ¿Por qué será?
¿Por qué será?
Será por feo, hoy, o por ojo, bom, 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 o por ojo, bom, 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 sapo picón. Será por feo, hoy, por ojo, bom, 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 o por ojo, bom, 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 sapo picón.
Thank you.
Antes de que tus labios me confirmaran que me querías, ya lo sabía, ya lo sabía. Desde que tus labios me confirmaran que me querías, ya lo sabía, ya lo sabía. Porque con la mirada tú me pusiste un telegrama que me decía su destino, corazón, domicilio, cerca del cielo. Repitente sus ojos son texto, te quiero, te quiero. Antes de que tus labios me confirmaran que me querías, ya lo sabía, ya lo sabía. Desde que tus labios me confirmaran que me querías, ya lo sabía, ya lo sabía. Porque con la mirada tú me pusiste un telegrama que me decía su destino, corazón, domicilio, cerca del cielo. Repitente sus ojos son texto, te quiero, te quiero. Antes de que tus labios me confirmaran que me querías, ya lo sabía, ya lo sabía.
Thank you.
Cuando veas que la neta se alborota y menea las caderas que parece licuadora, y es que llegó el bombón. Cuando veas que la neta se alborota y menea las caderas que parece licuadora, y es que llegó el bombón. Bailando, bailando, llegó el bombón. Gozando, gozando, llegó el bombón. Bailando, bailando, llegó el bombón. Gozando, gozando, llegó el bombón. Cuando veas que la neta se alborota y menea las caderas que parece licuadora, y es que llegó el bombón. Cuando veas que la neta se alborota y menea las caderas que parece licuadora, y es que llegó el bombón. Bailando, bailando, llegó el bombón. Gozando, gozando, llegó el bombón. Bailando, bailando, llegó el bombón. Gozando, gozando, llegó el bombón. Y es que llegó el bombón con el ritmo sabroso, que se ve la compasión, con el ritmo sabrosito que alimenta el corazón. Y es que llegó el bombón con el ritmo sabrosón, que se ve la compasión con el ritmo sabrosito, aunque sea despacito para todos el bombón. Cuando veas que la nera se alborota y menea las caderas que parece licuadora. Y es que llegó el bombón. Cuando veas que la nera se alborota y menea las caderas que parece licuadora. Y es que llegó el bombón, bailando, bailando, llegó el bombón, gozando, gozando, llegó el bombón, bailando, bailando, llegó el bombón, gozando, gozando, llegó el bombón. Thank you.
Thank you. Vamos a bailar,
Bahía,
vamos a gozar,
pa' acá,
vamos a bailar bonito, moviendo el cuerpecito. Te mueves pa' allá,
Bahía,
te mueves pa' acá,
pa' acá,
te mueves bien sabrosón al ritmo de este cumbión. Vamos a bailar,
Bahía,
vamos a gozar,
pa' acá.
vamos a bailar bonito, moviendo el cuerpecito. Vámonos pa'l río. No importa, lleva a tu tío para que puedas controlar una vieja pa' bailar. Está bueno el ambiente. Parece que trae creciente. El río está a todo dar para ponerse a bailar. Vamos a bailar,
Bahía,
vamos a gozar,
pa' acá.
vamos a bailar bonito, moviendo el cuerpecito. Si tú eres casado y eres abusado, no te traigas a tu vieja porque te pega y te deja. Está bueno el ambiente. Parece que trae creciente. El río está a todo dar para ponerse a bailar. Vamos a bailar,
Bahía,
vamos a gozar,
pa' acá.
vamos a bailar bonito, moviendo el cuerpecito. Thank you.
Iba por la calle cuando lo encontré. Me leyó la palma, me dijo el futuro, me dijo otras cosas, yo se lo creí. Me la llevé al cine, me la llevé al baile, me sacó la feria, luego se marchó. Es que era una húngara, lángara, mendiga, insípida, pérfida, mondriga, landiga, pésima, lucida, pecora, lástima, lástima, feria, la que me bajo. Es que era una húngara, lángara, mendiga, insípida, pérfida, mondriga, landiga, pésima, lucida, pecora, lástima, lástima, feria, la que me bajo. Iba por la calle cuando lo encontré. Me leyó la palma, me dijo el futuro, me dijo otras cosas, yo se lo creí. Me la llevé al cine, me la llevé al baile, me sacó la feria, luego se marchó. Es que era una húngara, lángara, mendiga, insípida, pérfida, mondriga, lándiga, pésima, lúcida, pectora, lástima, lástima, feria, la que me bajo. Es que era una húngara, lángara, mendiga, insípida, pérfida, mondriga, lándiga, pésima, lúcida, pectora, lástima, lástima, feria, la que me bajo. Es que era una húngara, lángara, mendiga, insípida, pérfida, mondriga, lándiga, pésima, lúcida, pecora, lástima, lástima, feria, la que me bajo. Es que era una húngara, lángara, mendiga, insípida, pérfida, mondriga, lándiga, pésima, lúcida, pecora, lástima, lástima, feria, la que me bajo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our last show and tell in person of this semester. My name is Javier Duran. I'm the director of the Confluencenter for Career Inquiry, and we're really delighted to have you here this afternoon. If you haven't already, please be sure to sign in at the entrance to receive your tickets for the food truck over to this side here. And we have plenty of vendors on site. Go support our local businesses, and bathrooms are located on the east side of the annex, for those of you who haven't been here. Also, as you come in, you'll notice we have QR codes taped to the back of the chairs and tables. You can scan those to see our event program for tonight and more information. Our live band joining us tonight is Las Trillizas y Dulce. Members are Lisbel, Sheila, Chanderlin, y Dulce. Please. And I predict someday they're going to win a big award. They don't know that yet, but they will. So thanks, everybody. We're going to have the band play for a few more minutes, and then we're going to start the program after that. And also, we recognize that today is Día de las Madres en la frontera. Feliz Día de las Madres a todas las madres que están aquí y a las que celebraron el domingo también. So thank you so much for being here, and we're going to have more music, and then we'll have the program in a few minutes. Gracias. Como 10, 15 me dijo antes. 15 son como... Las mañanitas están las van a cantar ahorita.
¿Quiere que lo toquemos en la última?
Ok.
Sea la última.
¿Cómo cuántos minutos?
Como 12, 15.
Otros 5.
La monja. Ay, yo me quedo aquí debajo de la bonga,
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
me gusta el trajecito que tocas con la bonga,
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
y yo con mi morena debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, cómo se menean las ramas de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, 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 debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, 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 debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, yo me quedo queda aquí debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, cómo se menean las ramas de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Me gusta el trajecito que tocas con la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Y yo con mi morena debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, 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 debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, 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 debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, yo me quedo aquí debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Me gusta el trajecito que tocas con la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Y yo con mi morena debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, cómo se menean las ramas de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, 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 debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Ay, 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 debajo de la bonga.
Porque la bonga es para reposar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Si le meto por aquí, ella sale por acá. Y si cojo por allá, ella sale por acá. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Se metió por la
Yeah,
calle.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Se metió por la
Si
calle.
me meto por aquí y yo salgo por allá. Y si cojo por allá, ella sale por acá. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Se metió por la
No,
caña.
no, 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 no,
Se metió por
no.
la caña.
Yo le voy a echar un cuento y a ver a lo que pasó. Yo le puse una garra y al fin la pude agarrar. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Se metió en la oscuridad.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Se metió en la oscuridad.
Yo le voy a echar un cuento y a ver a lo que pasó. Yo le puse una garra y al fin la pude agarrar. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Se metió en la oscuridad.
No, 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 no.
Se metió en la oscuridad.
Yo le voy a echar un cuatro y a ver a lo que pasó. Yo le puse una garra y al fin la pude agarrar. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Y al fin la pude
No, no,
agarrar.
no, no, no,
Y al fin la
no.
pude agarrar. Thank you.
Me fui a pasar la tarde junto con mi negrita. Nos fuimos caminando rumbo pa' la lomita y con comodidad nos tiramos al pasto y la hierba se movía, se movía, se movía. La hierba se movía, se movía, se movía. Como no era muy tarde, nos fuimos más adentro. Le fui diciendo cosas, lo que por ella siento y con comodidad nos tiramos al pasto y la hierba se movía, se movía, se movía. La hierba se movía, se movía, se movía. Hay cosas que no se olvidan en nuestras vidas. Hay cosas maravillosas como la tarde en que te tenía. Hay cosas que no se olvidan, que no se olvidan en nuestras vidas. Hay cosas maravillosas como la tarde en que te tenía. Me fui a pasar la tarde junto con mi negrita. Nos fuimos caminando rumbo pa' la lomita y con comodidad nos tiramos al paso y la hierba se movía, se movía, se movía. La hierba se movía, se movía, se movía. Hay cosas que no se olvidan, que no se olvidan en nuestras vidas. Hay cosas maravillosas como la tarde en que te tenía. Hay cosas que no se olvidan, que no se olvidan en nuestras vidas. Hay cosas maravillosas como la tarde en que te tenía. La hierba se movía, se movía, se movía. 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 Thank you.
Thank you. Cuando ella baila cumbia y el que la ve se enamora. Tengo la yaquecita que quiero mucho en Sonora. Y cuando ella baila cumbia y el que la ve se enamora. Ay, mi yaquecita, ay, mi yaquecita, tú tienes un cuerpo hermoso que parece sirenita. Ay, mi yaquecita, ay, mi yaquecita, tú tienes un cuerpo hermoso que parece sirenita. Y todos los yaquis dicen, pues sí que traes, hombre, Yole. Y yo les contesto a todos que yo me caso con Yole. Todos los yaquis dicen, pues sí que traes, hombre, Yole. Y yo les contesto a todos que yo me caso con Yole. Ay, mi yaquecita, ay, mi yaquecita, tú tienes un cuerpo hermoso que parece sirenita. Ay, mi yaquecita, ay, mi yaquecita, tú tienes un cuerpo hermoso que parece sirenita. This goes out to all the mothers that are here. Muchas felicidades. Feliz Día de las Madres.
Qué linda está la mañana en que vengo a saludarte. Venimos todos con gusto y placer a felicitarte. El día en que tú naciste, nacieron todas las flores. Y en la pila del bautismo cantaron los ruiseñores. Ya viene amaneciendo, ya la luz del día nos dio. Levántate de mañana, mira que ya amaneció. Quisiera ser un San Juan, quisiera ser un San Pedro y venirte a saludar con la música del cielo, de las estrellas del cielo. Quisiera bajarte dos. Una es para saludarte y otra para decirte adiós. Con jazmines y flores este día voy a adornar. Hoy por ser Día de las Madres te venimos a cantar. Thank you.
Muchas felicidades a todas las madres.
So I would like to provide the land acknowledgement. I'm going to share a little bit about who I am. So she'e ya yadir kabiyori yanishye look at the net initially na kai bashishchin. Sorry about that. I'll start all over. She'e ya yadir kabiyero yanishye look at the net initially na kai bashishchin topaha a dashache ado na kai dashanele. Bita ist eat de nasha ado Tucson de cashed in. So hello and good evening. My name is Yadira Caballero. I have introduced myself in my Diné language by telling you and sharing you my clans, which establishes the connection to the land and where my family comes from. I come from the Reed People clan, which comes from my maternal side, and I am born for the Mexican. My maternal grandfather comes from the Zuni Edgewater clan, and my paternal side is from Mexico, and I call home Grand Canyon. I am honored to be here like many of us here. We are visitors of these lands. As we live in a current moment of transition, we have to continue to understand and listen of the long-standing history and stories that has brought you to reside on the land. The land is part of who we are. It is part of our past, our current, and our future. We should carry the respectfulness of the people who have been here for thousands of generations and will continue for generations to come. If we can take the moment to acknowledge that the University of Arizona and the city of Tucson are located on the native homelands of the Tanatam Nation and the Pascoyaqui tribe. They are the ones whose care and keeping of these lands allows us to be here today. It is a place in relation to the original people of the land and who continue to carry their traditions and cultures. Everything around us is alive. It has a purpose. It is a special place where we are surrounded by the mountains, the plants, the animals, and nearby waters, which all have meaning to the original people. We give thanks to Mother Earth and honor our life to the Creator. We look after the life on the land that is given to us. It is imperative that we continue to carry these reflections where you currently reside and places that you go. We will continue to build our mindfulness of our present participation and listen to the stories shared by Indigenous people, especially the elders. So ahiahat, and I'm going to pass it over to Javier, who will provide us a few updates and announcements. Ahiahat.
Thank you, Yadira. Again, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And it's been one excellent year for the Confluencenter, despite the challenges that we had these past 2 years. And we're really, really delighted to share that we've been the recipient of 2 large grants, one from the Mellon Foundation, one the Ford Foundation. And a lot of the work that we're doing in terms of influencing and trying to reclaim border narratives for the communities has to do with you all, with the communities, with engagement that we can put in the connections that we can make with each one of you, but also the people that are doing the work out there, and especially people in the arts. We recognize that a lot of the expression happening in terms of public and also private discourses goes through the lenses and the talent of young people of our communities. And so we're really, really delighted that a lot of the work that the Confluencenter is doing has to do with engagement with young people. And you saw an example today with our band, Las Trillizas y Dulce. So that's just one component of the many things we're doing at the Confluencenter. And also partnerships that we are creating with people in the community, such as with Galeria Mitotera, South Tucson place to be these days. In the meantime, I have a list of people to thank because we don't do this alone. And I want to make sure that we recognize the folks that make this possible. Thanks to the Mercado San Agustin Annex team for all the on-site technical and logistical support. Many thanks to the band, Las Trillizas y Dulce. I know they're gonna win an Emmy one day. Just keep watching and listening. Muchas gracias. Gracias, Tacos de la H, los taqueros de Hermosillo, aquí en Tucson, búsquenlos on the west side. Thanks to our vendors that are helping us and contributing to the local economy. You haven't bought anything, please try to do something, a little gift, graduation gifts. Thanks to Jose Jimenez, owner of Petroglyphs, for his continued support in terms of making connections with the community and also with show and tell as a staple of the Confluencenter. We also appreciate the support of the Confluencenter Faculty Advisory Board. I know some of the members are here, and they've been extremely helpful to get us through a lot of the challenges that we have faced institutionally and also elsewhere during the last couple of years. They've been instrumental also in connecting with students and in connecting with other faculty and other administrators in the university. I want to also recognize the support of the Office of Research, Innovation, and Impact and their administrative enthusiasm for the projects that we are undertaking in this current year. And last but not least, the people that make this possible, not only possible, but excellent, the Confluencenter team, Yadira Caballero, Angela Martinez, Yasmin Vasquez, Cristian Rubalcaba, Valeria Tapia, and Ruth Batia. That's the team that makes a lot of this happen. Thank you, team. Muchas gracias. And it's about them. They are really a talented group of professionals that are really helping us to keep the conference center moving, but also connecting with the community as well. And one thing is that good news for one person, not so good news for us, is that our colleague Cristian Rubalcaba will leave the team, but he will become assistant professor of language and applied linguistics at the University of California, Santa Cruz. So congratulations, Cristian. You have a bright future ahead of you. Michelle, your wife. So we want to thank you for all that you've done for us during this short time of 3 years. And one person that did a lot of work for the Conference Center and who is here today is Lisa Langdon Duberry. And I want Lisa to come here because we have something that, thanks to the pandemic, we're not able to give you at the time. So Lisa was a warrior, an administrative warrior at the university, and a lot of what you see here at the Conference Center was thanks to her. So please, Lisa, come forward here. We have something for you that the pandemic didn't allow us to give you. So that will be, from now on, the Confluence Center Warrior Award to the person who has held the team the most. Muchas gracias, Lisa. Thank you so much. And we're so delighted that you're here with us tonight. And that is what the Conference Center does, try to integrate and bring folks together. And today, we have one of our community partners within the Fronteridades Project, Galeria Mitotera. We have Melissa Brown Dominguez and Mel Dominguez joining us from Galeria Mitotera to give a presentation and moderate our Q&A session with our lineup of artists, Ruben Urrea Moreno, Alaina Rock Pierce, Elijah Garcia, and Galeria Mitotera is a space where Chicanx culture is celebrated, artists of color in the community are uplifted, and a safe space for community members and artists to inspire one another through art and togetherness is cultivated. And with that, I want to welcome Mel and Melissa Dominguez, and please help me to welcome them. ¿Dónde están? Oh, ahí vienen. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Javier. Okay.
Gracias, Javier.
Thank you all for being here with us this evening. We're super excited to host this show and tell.
Yo quería decir feliz Día de las Madres, ya lo dijo Javier, pero especialmente porque hoy está mi nana aquí.
Hi, Nana. Wherever they desde Hermosillo.
Sí. We also want to thank individually the vendors that are here. They work with us consistently at the Galeria. Rogue, Elena, thank you. Flowing Water Soaps, they make amazing soaps. Go check them out. Miss Chingaderas, Cameo, thanks for being here. And Alexa from Adela Designs. So thank you. As we go through the presentation, the staff from the Confluence Center will have note cards available. If you have any questions that you would like to ask any of the artists at the end of our presentation during the Q&A section, please write them down so that they can be collected, and at the end we can ask the artist your questions.
So here we go. We're going to get started. The Galeria Mitotera is a space to celebrate our Chicanx culture, uplift artists of color in the community, to create a safe space of community members, artists, to inspire one another through art and togetherness. And that's exactly what's happening, art and togetherness.
And we are the only Galeria in Tucson that is south of 22nd Street. So for those of you who haven't come to visit us yet, we welcome you to come. We are not only a galeria, we are also a gift shop that carries local artists' goods that they make. So whenever you're looking for a special gift made by local artists of color, please come and see us. And also, the work that we do at the Galeria is also made possible through all the collaborations in our community, especially with the Confluencenter. We have a fiscal sponsor, Avenidas Inc., the Sunnyside Foundation, Pima Reach, and all of these entities and so many more people, just our friends and family, help us create all of the amazing community projects that we have at the Galeria.
So thank you all so much for that. So next we have our latest produced mural. This mural is an indigenous runner mural, and it's created on the south side in the city of South Tucson. It's at the public housing. And the reason why we did that is because the majority of the community within that area is indigenous, and they identify as indigenous. And that's the most, it's the activity of running is part of our ancestry. So to have it so close by and to bring some of the folks that live near and in the public housing, it was important to come back outside after COVID and get some nice sunshine the way we have here in Tucson, and to be outside with each other and to discuss a little bit about the topic and to give some life to the area, because this was just just a gray wall. So now when everybody comes out of their house, now they see some color and they get the whole idea about running.
And I forgot to mention one thing. I wrote notes and I still forgot. Assistant professor from the U of A, Alex Macias, is here with us tonight. And over here on the projection on my left is projection of his artwork. So throughout the evening, if you glance over, you will see his amazing work that he creates. He's from Texas, and he's been here at the university since 2019. And we're excited to have a continuing partnership with him and his students at the Galeria.
Thank you for that. That's so amazing to have so many artists here in the community and to display their art locally. What we have next is on 4th and 28th. It's on the east side of the block. And what we did, it was me and fellow artist Rogue, Elijah Garcia, myself, and Pato Aguilar from Nogales. Perdón. And we all created this COVID mural as a PSA, as a public service announcement in the area. Also, we utilized the language in this PSA. So in each piece of the mural, there are Tío and Español, Español, y luego Inglés. And so it's really nice because that's a reflection of who's in the community and how we care for each other, because what we describe down, or what we're supporting is health is wealth. So health is wealth, and it's very important to us that everybody stay healthy so that we can continue on with the culture and sharing with the oral history.
And a lot of these murals that we create, that Mel creates, I am not the artist. By the way, I am Melissa, we forgot to say, and that is Mel. Mel is the artist, and I am the non-artist art admin person.
She's the art wrangler. She keeps us all in line and makes sure all this comes together so that we can do something like this for you tonight. So thank you, Melissa.
But all of our artists, we invite community members to come and paint with us, because we want everyone to feel the artist in them. I mean, if you can, I can't always draw well, but I can paint in a coloring book well. So we have a community artist in the audience, Lori, that has helped us finish up lots of projects. So thank you, Lori, for being here.
Well, being an artist is a human right. It's within all of us. So our next.
Well, and so, sorry. We did practice, guys. We really did. I just get nervous.
It's called marriage.
That too. So with this mural, this is a group of artists that we're friends with. And these are, some of them are the artists that we invited here today that we wanted to showcase and introduce to you all, because we've been friends for a while with some of them, some for just 4 years, some for 12 years. But they're friends and amazing artists, and we love working on projects together. So So we're going to begin introducing their art to you. And like I said, if you have any questions for any of these artists individually, just raise your hand and we can get a note card out to you for a question. So our first artist is Ruben Urrea Moreno. He is originally from Barrio Libre in South Tucson. And, oh, can we adjust the projection?
But if you actually want to see Ruben, he's located in the back area. So
And over here, the not projected, that's an actual mural that Ruben painted on muslin. Is it muslin, Ruben?
it's actually an upcycled banner from the U of A theater.
Oh, there you go. Because Ruben works at the U of A State Museum. And that mural, it is about Lalo Guerrero. So if you have a moment, please go over and look at it. It has some really great imagery and story.
And the reason why we brought it today is because what we're working on is mobile murals. And so this is a sampling of what a mobile mural looks like. And Ruben has actually produced a couple of mobile murals, one of them being part of a grant that was Pandemia Diarios that was funded
With the
through
Confluence
the Confluence
Center.
Center.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now on display on La Doce at...
La Estrella Bakery, our favorite bakery.
Yeah!
And this mural, it talks about, it was about what Ruben felt during the pandemic as an artist. So next time you go to the Estrella Bakery, go check the mural out. And it's a mobile mural. It's not painted on the wall. It's painted on cloth, just like this one. And it's suspended along the building. And the whole purpose that Ruben wanted to create murals like this was that so that we could move them throughout the community, especially the South Side community, because there is a deficit of public art in these areas. And this way, we can take art to the communities and rotate it into different spaces so that different community members can engage with it.
Especially the students who are going to Apollo High School or Pueblo High School and Apollo Middle School. Excuse me. Oh, so this is an image of when we actually had Ruben Moreno as one of our first resident artists. This was an amazing experience for me because of the work that Ruben has been producing. So in this photo, I mean, he's posing for the photo, and he set up his table and his desk inside our Galeria so that anybody who came to visit Galeria Mitotera could have access to their local artist. So it was so awesome to have him come through and show the community a piece of artwork in process. So the piece of art behind him is a piece called Snakes and Ladders, which is inspired by Chutes and Ladders. And so Ruben's completed the piece, and he's still working on getting it all together so we can share more of that piece with you. But when he comes up later on for the questions, I encourage you to ask away about this piece.
And it's about the border. So the game is about the border. It's very interesting, and it's beautiful imagery. Also, during Ruben's time as our artist in residence, he created this another mobile mural, and this was to celebrate Deb Halan, who was she's the first Native American to serve as cabinet secretary for the Department of Interior for the United States. So we had so much love for this mural. We hung it up. Our building is a big blue building on South 4th, and it was just so striking to have this mural up for several months and have the community enjoy it. We actually even had someone from Deb Halan's office eating at Minirito across the street who noticed the mural, took a picture, and emailed it to her. So it was pretty awesome what art can do.
And currently, this mural has been transferred. Since it's mobile, we moved it from 4th and 28th down to 7th and 29th at the new location of Tucson Tamale Distribution Center. So
the next artist we wanted to introduce you to is Elijah Garcia. Elijah is from Pascoyaki, and he is a videographer and photographer. That's how we met him first, as a videographer and a photographer. And little did we know that he was also a painter. He's very shy about this, but he is amazing. So thanks, Elijah, for being here with us today.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
So Elijah came to us and said he wanted to do this project because he had become concerned about the fact that the Yoeme language is a dying language for the tribe. And he wanted to create this mural that included the language and also powerful messaging. So this mural with the yaqui flowers, translated into English, says, "You are beautiful." And he painted it in Pascua, in New Pascua. So if you're ever in New Pascua, we'll have to ask Elijah which street it's on because I don't remember.
You got to take the main road by the radio.
Yeah, that's true. But it's beautiful. How is he not a painter? Look at this. I mean, seriously.
And just so you all know, I mean, this was just a regular gray space. So Elijah going in there and putting some beautiful, powerful color and language, it just amped up that neighborhood even more.
Elijah also loves to have this great thing he does with his art. He will create original pieces of artwork, prints or stickers, and he will place them in random places and then, post it on social media and say, "Hey, if you can find this, it's yours." So it's happened here in Tucson. These photos on your left are in New York, and then on the right is in Venice Beach, I believe. Yes. So it's pretty powerful because he likes to use the artwork that's talking about his culture in different places that he goes to visit. And he has a great story about what a special person who picked up a piece of his while he was in New York. So we'll ask him later about that.
And these are all free, so if you're stuck at work and you post them up there, you got to hurry up and go find them and go get this piece of artwork. And sometimes it's already been claimed. And so sometimes that's a hard thing to accept. But
yeah, I still haven't gotten one yet, Elijah, because he doesn't give anybody hints. So our next artist is Elena Rogue Pierce. Elena is from Tohono O'odham tribe, and Elena, yes, and she's back here with. She's back here with her stickers and prints and amazing artwork. But Elena, her artwork is it reflects her identity and her culture. She's also, she's not only a muralist and a painter, she's also a caricaturist and a jewelry maker. And she's just an amazing person. And she's a graffiti artist as well. Very few female graffiti artists out there in the world, and Elena's one of the badasses. So this is one of the pieces that she's part of a crew called Neoglyphics. So they're an all-indigenous graffiti crew, and they created this artwork at the Tucson Museum of Art a few years ago. And like I said, she enjoys and wants to speak about her culture and her identity. And I mean, look at the imagery. It's so striking. Her use of color is amazing. I don't know what else to say, but right now, another passion project of Elena's is working with indigenous youth. So she's created this project with the Sunnyside Foundation and Sunnyside School District. And they're creating this mural with indigenous students in Sunnyside. So on the left is the image that Elena created, and the students are helping her paint that on the stairwell at Challenger Middle School in Sunnyside. So she was there all day today working with the students, but it's going to be beautiful when it's done. We can't wait.
It's always exciting to get the students back outside and getting into art and freeing their mind a little bit behind all of these things, especially after COVID. Oh, so our last artist is David Moreno. He's indigenous, he's Pascua Yaqui. He's a contemporary native artist. He's fondly referred to as the Godfather for those very reasons. He knows everybody.
Yes, he's a curator. He's a painter, and he's a connector piece. David is a great mentor in our artist community, and we respect him very much. He can't be here tonight, But he was excited to be included. So thank you, David. And David is a contemporary artist that pushes the boundaries of his culture. Sometimes his elders push back on some of his art, but it's beautiful. I mean, the way that he sees his Yaqui culture is amazing. And you can see a lot of his work at Casino del Sol. The tribe has commissioned David to do several large pieces, and these pieces that are projected up here, they look small, but they're huge. He paints huge pieces. So if you're ever at Casino del Sol, most of them are David's. And
David's also the curator of a show that we host. It's titled Indian Born, American Made. We've hosted American Made 2, and we've hosted American Made 3. And it's all been very exciting because he curates a show that's all indigenous and has various tribes that are included. And it's so amazing just to see their perspective on self. And it's a beautiful thing to have our open space at Galeria to the community so that they can see the artwork that looks like them too. So again, it's just another thing about accessibility and seeing yourself in the arts and culture that we're displaying. But you know, we're sad that David couldn't be with us here tonight, but where can we see him, Melissa?
Oh, actually, it's pretty exciting. Arizona Illustrated filmed the entire process of installing the show and the festivities of the opening of the show. So watch out for the series or the show on the Arizona Illustrated show.
I'm super
soon.
pumped about that, Melissa. I'm like, this
I
guy's
was
missing.
super shy during that interview, but yes, it'll be amazing. So you could see the show, and it's still up at the Galeria. So if you'd like to come, we are open on Saturdays 1 to 4, or if you'd like to have a private viewing, just give us a call or email, and we'd be happy to open up the Galeria. And we were just really excited because we had Yaqui artist, Tahana Atam artist, Dene artist, Mexica artist, and it's just beautiful to be surrounded by all this indigenous work. And David also curated a beautiful market the day that we had the opening. So he had all indigenous vendors out on our street. We closed the street off next to Galeria. We had Gloria Alvarez from Pascuayaki. If you guys have ever followed Estilo Alvarez Catering on Facebook, she makes the best Yaqui tacos, and I will say that without getting in trouble by anyone, but they're amazing. She was there catering, and so and we had indigenous musicians there, so it was an amazing time. So, yeah.
What's on the horizon, Melissa? What do we got going on next?
So many things.
She's the project manager to all this madness, but it's super exciting to work on these things because we're doing what we love, and that's uplifting other artists. So what do we got going on?
So we're focusing on continuing to work with our friends and our colleagues and artists and our collective to continue to do the artwork that we want to bring to our communities. And it's just amazing to have all the puzzle pieces put together, like having the collaboration with the Confluencenter and the Mellon Grant Foundation funding to do projects. I mean, it's just like a dream come true for us because any project that we think of, we can accomplish and we can make happen. So it's amazing. Another part of the project with Confluence is that we want to really focus on what we're calling the I-19 corridor of arts, because we have artists and friends in Nogales, Arizona, throughout the borderlands, and also on the Sonora side of Mexico, that we really want to strengthen the collaborations with and also do like a cross-pollination to get these artists to come up to Tucson and do art projects with us, and then send our artists down to their areas and work on projects together just to collaborate and to continue to apoyar.
And the arts and culture as a form of communication.
Yeah, like if you see on the left the Nogales mural that was created by our friends at Galeria. Neftis is an amazing poet and MC, and her husband Hyde and Tony Plock are part of their collective. And we were actually able to take, I think this was in December, we took a group of U of A students down to the border for an art mural tour on both sides of the border. And we were able to hire Neftis to give us this private tour. And it was amazing to walk the streets with the artist that created these murals and to tell us like the stories behind them, any kind of issues that came up during the projects or the history of the neighborhoods. I mean, it was something that you wouldn't ever know unless you were with the artist.
Or the proximity to the border and how close we live to the border and how much we traffic that border back and forth, talking to each other and working with each other. So it was really nice to bring the students beyond Speedway down to the border down there to check out what's really going on and just seeing some of the contemporary movement of the sustainable artist.
And if you spy the cameraman, that's Elijah Garcia, who was on the trip with us to document. So thanks, Elijah.
Yeah, thank you, Elijah.
Murals. Mel loves murals, and a lot of our friends love murals. And like I said before, the murals are painted with community.
Okay, so the reason why we love murals is because us artists, we have so much to say, so we put it inside the mural. So as we walk away and the mural lives on without us, the story's there. And so there's other people in the neighborhood that they know that, and they know the story and they understand the story. And they get to share that story. It doesn't go away. And some of the times when we start a mural, it's because it's a gray space and we're trying to take away that space and give so much more to the youth that are being raised in that vicinity or in that area. And then the one on the right side is actually where there's a school. It's a Carrillo Elementary, and the piece of it's a Teneo mural that had been faded because of the harsh, just sunlight just blasting on the east side facing of that mural.
And the kids bouncing the ball on the wall.
Yeah, that too, and catch up on everything else. But you know what? It gave us an awesome opportunity to come in post-COVID and work with the students and talk about that technology, talk about things that are missing that we can add and be outside, be together, and continue to give that that whole human, right to be an artist, to be free to think on your own and imagine a way.
So our goal with the partnership with Confluence is to also continually restore these older murals in our community because they're history, and our elder artists are passing, or like Teneo, he's lost his eyesight, and so we want to preserve their art and their messaging and include the students and the community to know, because there are people that have been born and seen these murals, don't know who the artist is, they don't know what the mural means.
Oh, but it's because we were all born in the 1900s, right?
That's
so
true.
The 2000s, they don't know nothing about it. So it's nice to fill them in and give them a little bit of how do you say it? Like they help create the mural, so they have a piece
Of ownership.
of ownership in the mural.
Yeah. And it's also beautiful, like during the Carrillo restoration, there are community members who've always lived in Barrio Viejo who came and helped and actually helped us decipher some of the messaging in the mural because they were able to look at some of the imagery and say, oh, that was because this happened in the neighborhood. I can't remember an exact example. Maybe Mel
Or
can.
give us a story, because that's why they call us Galeria Mitotera. I'm there for the story. And so, Mr. Mike, if you're out there, I'm going to share your story. He said, do you know why there's so many trees in el barrio del Hoyo? And I said, why? And he goes, because every time somebody had a baby, they would plant the placenta in the yard and grow a tree there. And I was like, you guys had that many kids? I'm like, because I'm talking about there's thousands of trees there. So it's beautiful that when you dive into the community, they share so much story with you because that's their ownership. That's their legacy, is being here and loving to be here.
Quick plug on merch. So I don't know if any of you went to the Pueblos de Maíz festival that was this Saturday at Hotel Congress.
Yeah.
Las Trillizas were there, and Gertie and the Tio boys were there. But the City of Gastronomy actually hired Mel, Rogue, and Ruben to create the merch for the festival. So we have T-shirts, totes, and back in the back, if you're interested, come and see us after the presentation. But it was just amazing that the big entity like the City of Gastronomy understands the worth of an artist, and they wanted to pay the artist for their images and be fair. So it's beautiful.
And they know that we all meet each other on these foodways at the dinner table, and that Maíz is one of those. It's a stronghold, so it's super awesome to participate.
And it's our
in
culture.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
our culture through all of our cultures. Lastly, we just want to say that, as Galeria, I feel like I've been talking a lot, Mel.
You do talk a lot.
It's usually the other way around. We want to continue to have a safe space for our artists, our makers, and our food vendors to continue to have fun, to grow their businesses, and to create community together. At the Galeria, we try to have monthly mercaditos. If you follow us on social media or follow our website, we post them. It's a fun time. On the left was our recent Dia de los Niños festival that we collaborated with the Pima County Public Library, and it was amazing. It was beautiful to see all those kids enjoying books and art, and
it was just an awesome feeling to be away from each other for so long because of COVID, and then to come back together on an open street with just everybody from the community just wanting to be together and experience just about anything that has to do with being human. And it feels really fantastic, and it feels really fantastic to be here with you all tonight.
Yeah. So we're just excited to continue to work with the Confluencenter, with Professor Macias, and with all of our artist friends and family. Flowing Waters always calls us we're a soul family, so that's true. So thank you all for listening to our presentation. We are Mel and Melissa from Galeria Mitotera, and I want to invite Elijah, Elena, and Ruben to come up for a quick Q&A. And so if anyone from the audience has any questions for any of the artists or us, please don't be shy.
Hey, Ruben, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Ruen Urea Moreno. I'm a Tucsonian. I grew up not too far from here. I used to BMX the Santa Cruz River right here all the time, and get hurt, and then go home and get in trouble by my mom, who was a nurse. So I'm honored to be here.
Hello, my name is Elena Pierce. Ani Apjegi, Elena Pierce. Nia Jea Apjegi, Annette Maria Barbia. Nia Ox Apjegi, I can't even think right now. I was trying to introduce myself and all of them, but I'm really tired. I was working on a mural today. I was at work before that, and I woke up at like 4 in the morning to get my kids ready, and I'm just like so tired from like a whole month of murals, and anyways, I am from Santa Vir, which is also known as the Village of Wak on the Tohono Nation, and I've lived here all of my life. And I'm currently living in Barrio Hollywood, which is not very far from here. And I guess that's about it for now. And I'm passing it to Elijah.
Yosem Chinyavu, Kechamalea, Inepo, Elijah Matias Garcia Teac. Into inepo Pascuapo yo yometuk. Hello, my name is Elijah Garcia, and I'm from New Pascua. Thank you.
You guys keep it.
Oh, you can keep it. Listen.
Oh, okay. Ooh, we have some really great questions. You guys can decide who answers, okay?
Oh boy.
I'll do the hard one first. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh. Talk about your dream art project. I think each of you should answer this question.
Dream art project.
Pass it to Ruben if you need time. Put him on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, I think anybody who knows me has probably heard me say that I probably need to become a vampire in order to finish all the art projects that I ever want to finish, because it's more than one lifetime can handle. But I guess my dream would be to be a full-time muralist. And the portable mural idea came from not having enough time to be a muralist and to drive out to a site and to set up and paint and then to tear down and then to also eat, and also see my loved ones and also sleep. So working full-time, I'm like, well, I'm just going to make murals at home, and then when I'm done, I'll take them around town. So that is I'm kind of tapping into my dream project right there, is doing portable murals.
Hi, I recently got more into doing murals, so I think I would like to do more murals, mainly in my community, New Pascua, but also the surrounding communities in Barrio Libre and Old Pascua and Guadalupe.
I would like to say I'm living my dream right now. I never thought that I would be where I'm at right now. I grew up in a very abusive home I love my dad, but he was an alcoholic, and he went to prison, and in elementary school and middle school, I got sent to, which I would just say is like a foster home, and it wasn't a good experience. And so school ended up being like my refuge. And so literally, like right now, I'm doing a mural project at my middle school that I went to, and that was my safe place. So to be able to go back there and work with the students, to me is like just everything just like came full circle. And I never would have thought, like, my 12-year-old self, that I would be doing what I'm doing now. So yeah, literally, like, I am doing it right now. Last week, a couple weeks ago, I just got back from Atlanta, Georgia, with the Neoglyphics Collective, and we did some murals out there. And it was an all-expense paid trip. We were there for a whole week. And we just made so many connections with the people there. We did a mural at Morehouse College, which, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's a HBCU, and Martin Luther King Jr. graduated from there. So to be able to do that and travel across the country, not only there, but just in different places. Like, I've done murals in different states. So I guess the next goal would be to go out of the country and do a mural, do murals, around the world. So yeah, that's my answer.
Wait, I got a question.
Okay.
Hey, Elijah, can you share with everybody who found one of your scavenger art pieces in New York City, please?
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
So I did 5 paintings that I took with me to New York City. They all depicted the traditional yaqui flower with the words, I forget the words. Empo si tutuli, sorry. Empo si tutuli, which translates to "you are beautiful." I put them around different landmarks in New York. One was on the Brooklyn Bridge. That one, somebody from Colombia found it and took it back with them. The other one I put in front of the MoMA Museum. That one, one of the workers actually at the MoMA found it and took it home with her. And then the other one that I put in Central Park, somebody from Pittsburgh or Philadelphia took it home with them. And the other two, nobody reached out. Still waiting. Just kidding. Yeah. But yeah, yet. But yeah, so I've really gotten into using my language kind of to send a message, two of which are positive messages that people could see every day and serve as a reminder that you are beautiful. The other paintings I'm working on have different messages like Inepo or Empo Tuise Awe, which is a rough translation to you are amazing. The other ones are Empo Tua Suak, which is you are smart. And the other paintings that I'm working on also depict like common phrases. Another reason I'm using language in my art is because on the UNESCO language table, our language is considered to be severely endangered. And that's a really scary thought, to know that someday in the future, our language will be lost, as well as other indigenous languages. So that's another reason why I decided to use the language in my art. And, you know, it'll serve as a jumping point for somebody to see the art, learn the little phrase, and then maybe inspire them to continue to learn other phrases and words and, you know, eventually pick it up and pass it on and teach it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Elijah.
Sorry,
Let's see, I have the next question. How do you get on tours of the murals that are being shown?
I think you guys have to become tour guides. We need to get a bus. I don't know. Would you all be interested in doing tours of Southside art?
All right.
Something to think about. Javier, help us. Just kidding. Someone wants to know where can we support you and buy your stuff? Can you each tell people?
So if you go to my Instagram, which is Rogue Tucson Art, I have a link to my shop if you want to go there to buy anything. Also, I do have items in the Galeria Mitotera area.
Yes.
I also have stuff at the Sanavir Co-op Farm.
Currently, I don't have a store or anything. Basically, the art that I do make, I've usually just put it up for people to take. And then I'm working on pieces that would be for sale later on in the future.
There is one for sale currently.
Oh, yeah. For the Indian Born American Made show, I painted a 3-foot by 4-foot canvas of a yaki flower, and the slogan or the words for that one is Empo Tuise Awe, which is a translation to you are amazing, rough translation. But I did bring stickers that I could give out for free if you guys want one afterward. Hit me up, and then, yeah. But I'll let you guys know when I start selling stuff. Thank you.
Well, again, Galeria Mitotera does have some of my prints. I also have an Instagram and Facebook that have the same handle, Ruben U. Moreno. And if you're interested in anything, just reach out to me. Nowadays you can make just about anything online. So if you want a blanket for, you know, or you want a shower curtain, I can probably have it made for you. So and then I just put some artwork up at the screening room. And that'll be there for a month. So go check out the screening room. Their lobby is free. You can walk in there and check out. They're going to start doing little art shows there. And then keep an eye out for my portable murals.
Yeah. I'm actually waiting for Ruben to produce more of his artwork because he's just an amazing illustrator. So I'm a huge fan of all the 3 artists here today. So I'm waiting, Ruben, for your prints. I'm not
No pressure.
I know, no pressure, right? But here's another question. What are some of the challenges that you see more often in your work? Anyone take this one. Most of this answer is the heat, right? I'm like
I guess my personal challenge, being a single parent, and you know, working having a regular job and being a parent and trying to also do art. It's a lot to juggle. And cleaning my house, which it's a mess right now. Somebody knows out there. So those are definitely challenges. I think also being like everything as an artist. So like, not only do I create the art, I have to promote it. I have to do the social media. I have to do the financial part of it, the marketing. I literally do these events. I'm by myself and I set up my booth all the time. And if I have to go to the bathroom, like, so for me, I think that, I feel like I need an assistant. And yeah, so for me, those are my personal challenges. As far as like art, I guess, yeah.
I think the most challenging thing is more like internal, because while I'm painting, I start messing up and I'm thinking, damn, nobody's gonna like this. Crap, what am I doing? How am I even alive? How am I even trying this? But yeah, it's more internal and struggling with like the overthinking of the piece. Yeah, like if I'm gonna use this color instead of this color, but then deciding on the final color and then going over the color that I had originally put down and then wasting paint like that. Yeah, but it's more like indecisiveness of the design and things of that nature. But and learning how to paint, it's kind of hard. Yeah, painting is pretty hard.
I think that they're echoing a lot of the thoughts that I had. The work-life balance is a major factor. Keeping it simple. I've most of my imagery is very complex, and I want to put so much into it. It's hard for me to like tone it down sometimes. So I really struggle with getting my ideas to like be concise and get across to the viewers. So because there's always so much going on, but. I guess that kind of adds to what I do, but that is still a struggle, and it slows me down, and it also slows down the rate at which I produce art, Mal. Okay. Thank you.
I just want to add one more thing. Mental health. I thrive in the last minute, like procrastination stage. Which I wish I could manage and be able to do things ahead of time, but for some reason I have to wait till those last few hours. But I mean, I get it done, right? Anyways.
You make it happen.
I can hold it.
This question's, I think, more for Mel and I, so I'll just answer quickly. How connected is Tucson art and artists to art and artists in Sonora, Mexico? And are we interested in collaborating with artists from Mexico? From our vantage point, and I know this is the same for you three, is that we are definitely excited to continue to collaborate with artists in Sonora. We actually, Mel and I are going to go to Hermosillo in a few weeks to meet with a collective of artists there that I won't say a lot about it, but I'll just say that we're going to do a mural project here in Tucson and bring this group from Hermosillo, hopefully.
So this is Chisme, right?
It's Chisme from the Mitoteras. So you heard it here first.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Ruben, can you please tell everybody the story behind your mobile mural of Lalo Guerrero? Por favor.
My pleasure. So some of you might know Pepe Galvez. He's the Wednesday night DJ on KXCI. Amazing DJ, charismatic, the old veterano. Like he just like lures you in and teaches you all about Latino music while you get to listen to it. He has a plethora of knowledge, and he is a Lalo Guerrero like mega fan. And this was his idea. He just said, free reign. He's like, I would love a mural of Lalo Guerrero. And he actually commissioned me for this mural, and it's going to go on his house after it has a few like rounds in the public. Mark Guerrero was underneath him. And funny story, so don't tell anybody. But he wanted Linda Ronstadt in it too. And she was on the mural, but Mark Guerrero was coming to town to do a concert. And he's like, hey, can you fit Mark Guerrero on there? And I'm like, ay, Pepe, like, for real? Like, this thing is like jam-packed. I'm like, it's Linda or Mark. So he's like, well, because Mark's having a concert, let's go with Mark. I'm like, okay. So Linda Ronstadt is underneath Mark Guerrero. Yeah. So also, it's a work in progress. It's not done. It will be done, hopefully, by summertime. I'll work on it in my driveway, and it'll get really hot. But that pretty much sums it up. There's a whole lot of symbology. There's Las Ardillitas. Some of you may not know. Lalo Guerrero basically ripped off the chipmunks and took it to Mexico, and I think they're still running strong in Mexico. So they're on there. Thank you.
No, thank you, Ruben, for sharing that. That one.
All right. What inspired you to be an artist?
Inspired to be an artist. I feel like I've just always been one. Like, okay. I don't know. Like, yeah, that's true. Okay, so for me, art has always been my sanctuary. So, ever since I can remember, it's always been something that I could go to, and it was like my safe place. And what's funny is, I didn't know until until my dad went to prison that either of my parents were artists. So I didn't find out that my dad was an artist till he started writing me letters, and he drew these comic book characters in them. And I was like, wow, Dad, I never knew you could draw. Like, and he was really good at it. But he never did that when we were kids. Like, I never saw him do that. And then even later, I found out that my mom was a painter. She died when I was 3 years old, so I never knew that. I didn't have contact with my mom's side of the family because of, issues that my dad had. And so I didn't find out that until I found paintings of hers in old boxes that I would just kind of like go through because my dad was kind of a hoarder. So, as kids, you go look through everything. And so I found them, and I saw her name sign, and I was like, what? Like, my mom was an artist? So I guess it was just kind of a thing that I had in me, that I didn't even know that came from my family. And so in those times when I was struggling in school, like not wanting to be home, my teachers, like my art teachers, I went to Elvira Elementary School, my art teacher, Miss Campbell, noticed that I was really good at it. And so she encouraged me, and she, helped me along and always gave me like more challenging projects to work on. And then going into middle school too, they noticed that as well. And so like I was fortunate enough to have really great teachers in school. And then I went on to Desert View High School, and my teacher, Brenda Semanek Bad, which in Altam, if you say Bad at the end of a name, it means that they passed on. So she just recently passed away, but she was my art teacher for the whole 4 years. And she actually worked on the Cushing Street Bridge. If you see the metal pieces, and they like do the shadows. So if you ever walk across the Cushing Street Bridge, you can read, there's certain times of the year that you can go there and the images create something special. So if you ever have a chance to do that, go check it out. But she was a part of that. And she, throughout all my years that I grew up, these different teachers would, kind of take me under their wing, knowing that I didn't have a mom. and they all became my mom. So I think that that's a big reason why I do art. And then even in high school, Miss Semanek was the one that encouraged me to apply to to universities. And if it wasn't for her and Miss Utter, which is the counselor at that time, I wouldn't have applied, because my dad, he was just, I love him and everything, but he always, any sort of paperwork that I got from school, he's just like, here, sign it. And like, what does it say? And I would tell him, or he would just write, like, just sign it. And on all of my report cards and all that stuff, they'd be like, oh, you're doing a great job to my parents. And I'm like, So anyways, so I guess that's kind of just what has kept me going. And thankfully I was able to get into a college and just continue learning. And yeah, so there we go.
Elena, I think it's beautiful that you inherited those talents from your parents.
I grew up with a lot of artists in my family. My father was an artist and crafter. He would make a lot of necklaces and do a lot of the work for the tribe. I remember when the bingo first opened in New Pascua, back in the 80s, early 80s. They hired him to make the sign, and then every time we would drive by when I was a kid, I would be so proud of seeing that sign, and I'd be like, yeah, my dad did that. But that was like really inspiring. My uncle, Daniel Leon, he hasn't painted in years, but he did a lot of the Yaqui murals that were around in the early 80s, and seeing his work was really inspiring. I'm hoping to talk to him about painting again, because I think that'll make a good documentary, because he hasn't painted in like years, and that would be cool to like film it, and if he's able to start painting again. Also, yeah, just like everybody from the reservation are like really good artists. Like natives are really good artists, really good artists. And also graffiti. When I was in high school, I used to dabble with graffiti. That was like really cool, because it was a rush just to be out there at night, painting and doing things. But I haven't like picked up a spray can since then. And I think I really got into art seriously in 2020. 2019, I started working for the Department of Language and Culture in New Pascua, and I was doing media, video, photography, graphic design. But doing the graphic design kind of got something turning, the wheels turning in my head, and I got to learn more about designing and composition. And when I applied that to painting, it seemed to have really come out. And I really enjoy seeing all the muralists here in Tucson, and hanging out with Elena and Ruben, and seeing their art. It's really inspiring just to be around the creativity and Mal, and being around Galeria Mitotera. Like Galeria Mitotera has really helped me a lot just to get out of my shell. Because like I said, I originally started painting and hanging them up for people to take for free, because if it was for free, then they couldn't complain about how crappy it looked. But yeah, and that really like got me out of my shell to put my art out there, just to give it away, and try not to like sell it, because I don't know, I just had a like a disposition of like not being good enough to be able to sell work or anything. But Galeria Mitotera really like nurtured my artistic side, as well as my videographer side and editor side. But yeah, it was just all these elements coming together, and in 2020, like I've just been creating since then, painting, stickers, just digital illustrations, videos, more videos, just everything. But thank you for Melissa to really putting me out there and helping me out. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
So I feel the same. Like I feel like I was born with it. I'm the only artist in this generation of my family. My greatest inspiration was my nana and my mom, who would adamantly tell me that I was reincarnated after my uncle, who I was named after. He died a year before I was born, in a tragic car accident, and then I surprised everybody a year later. They weren't expecting me at all. But they decided to name me after him because the whole family was sad and needed something to cheer them up. And he was the only other artist in the family. So, yeah, so it was like no pressure. You know, you're named after him and you're going to be an artist. So I kind of grew up with that kind of like, you're your uncle. You're just like your uncle. You know, you're so artistic. And so my nana would bring me like comic books, and the family from Mexico would bring me Aztec calendars. And there I was, just always like drawing and painting. My nana used to let me paint in her backyard. And so really like I owe so much to her. And then in 5th grade, David Dineo came to my elementary school, Mission View. And we painted a mural on the Ramada, and that was the first time I had ever like met a real artist. You know, like he had a beret on, and he had like a his shirt was full of paint, and you know, like he just was like a real artist. You know, he was big attitude, big ego, and he just like kicked me into another gear, and I was like, I'm gonna be an artist. You know, like a real artist. And so, yeah, my nana and David Dineo.
Let this one.
All right. We have more questions than we have time, so I apologize. But before we end the evening, can each of you say like what you have next coming up? I know, Elena, you kind of talked about Challenger, but if you have a next exhibit coming up or a next project that you want to share before we say goodbye to everybody tonight.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to continue making portable murals. I have some pieces that I want to do that are more politically motivated, and I also have endangered species calendar I'm trying to finish. And one more thing is I'm trying to wrap up La Frontera, the Snakes and Ladders board game. There's a book that I want to publish in conjunction with the game that explains all the icons in the game. And it's a border region game. And basically, it deals with immigration. And I want to try to gather authors to do a little blurb on each icon. So it'll take me a minute to gather all the authors because there's about 20 icons. But look for that because I'm going to debut that again at Galeria Mitotera because it had a show. But it deserves to be shown again, and it deserves to have like a lot of community feedback because that's what I'm really looking for. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. No, and each of those icons on that piece can be a T-shirt or a stickers.
I think I would just like to learn more about doing murals and painting on a larger scale. I would like to also learn more about printing, like doing prints or finding locations to print. Because right now I'm just pretty much doing all the sticker making myself at home. But I would really like to get more into doing digital printing and other crafts and art of that nature. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to doing paintings on a larger scale. Thank you.
So as I had mentioned before, I'm working on a mural at Challenger Middle School right now, and I hope to work on some more there. And I guess then the next event I have coming up, I'm going to be painting in Phoenix. There's an event called Ladies First, and it's an event based in LA, and it's all female graffiti artists. So we're going to be painting on Friday the 20th. Is that the 20th? May 20th, up in Phoenix. And then on the 21st is the main event, and I'll be vending up there. And then there will be some, the main artists of that event that'll be painting that day. And then in August, I'm going to be up in Santa Fe. So I'll be at the, what's it called? but it's at the Buffalo Thunder Resort. It's not the main Santa Fe Indian Market because that's like crazy expensive to get into, and you have to be like selected, and I don't know. It's a trip. Yeah. So I'll be up there in August, and I think that's pretty much it for that I know of.
Busy.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for being our friends and amazing artists and always putting up with our crazy ideas. Thank you all again for joining us tonight. We will be having pop-up markets in the summer, starting in June at the Galeria. They will be evening markets, so watch us on social media if you'd like to come. Gracias, Javier and Confluence team, for everything that you do to support us. Oh, Elijah has stickers, so come and see him. And lo paso a Javier. Gracias.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Galeria Mitotera, Mitoterics, and thank you to the artists. Just to take a couple of minutes to thank everybody again, the technical assistant, the food, drink, and also encourage you to stick around for a few minutes. There's still el taquero aquí. And also some conversation, and there's an opportunity to talk to people you haven't talked to. We have a bunch of artists on this corner who are talking to themselves, but hopefully we can get to talk to them as well. And my thanks on behalf of the team. We look forward to seeing you next semester, in the fall semester. We hope to be here again at the Annex with show and tell. And keep up with the Confluencenter events. We're really pleased to have you. And again, thank you, and have a wonderful evening, a wonderful summer, and best of luck. Muchas gracias.
Pretty good. I don't know how you keep up.
Thank you.
You do everything, huh?
I do. Yeah. Are you here in Tucson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm actually out in Phoenix.
Oh.
So yeah, but I come all over the place, do all kinds of productions and stuff, live streaming.
So you do the show and you record the show? And
The live stream I actually have right now, not even this time, but I actually have a platform on TV. It's called Cool with Firestick. So I do a lot of stuff here now, kind of combat sports. So I started once I got out.
mostly recording, or do you like make your own little movies?
Not movies, more so I help other companies like develop like strategies, marketing videos. If you got like an event like this, I'll do a live stream.
You got a business card?
Yes, I do. Yeah. It's Flash Media. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this changes, like, it seems like every 6 months, everything's different.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my first one.
Your first one?
Yeah, my first one.
Oh, you did good.
Oh, well, thank you. Awesome. All right,
Did you
take
get
care.
some compliments?
I did. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. Have a good one.